Peace and love. 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 Hey y'all, it's your girl Seven. Did y'all miss me? I missed y'all. She come up in here to help y'all break some more chains, because y'all already know that's what we about, right? Yes, honey. Today's message is about pulling out the knives that people stick in you. Okay, the knives that people put in your back. You have the power to release and pull those out without their help. You ain't got to wait on them to come back and snatch that knife back out, because most of them going to come back and drive it in further anyway. So that's why you don't want them to come back and do it, right? So, y'all, I'm cracking jokes right now, but I have to be honest. This situation is heavy for me, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be heavy for a lot of people. But it's all about breaking chains, you know. When you're breaking chains, it's never gonna be easy, but it's well worth it once you go through the hurt and go through the pain and deal with it, accept it, feel it, release it. Right? All right. It's okay to fall down, but it's not all right to stay down. Okay. I had to burn my Palo Santo, y'all. This is to remove negative energy and to bring in positive energy. That's what Palo Santo is, for those who don't know. So y'all should look it up for those who, are looking for energy cleansing, space mechanism type of thingy, whatever. Anyway, let me get to it because I'm rambling. All right. I have a testimony, y'all. Whew, give me the strength, Lord. Pay attention to your children. This video is really pertaining to the kids. A lot of times I acknowledge the children, but I don't really stay on them as much as I should. But oh my God, my wand just literally broke. Oh, this is so heavy. My selenite just broke right here in my lap. But yeah, it's a sign. Baby, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumble, but it's all right. It's still all right. We might lose a few pieces along the way, but we still all right. Anyway, people with children, parents, guardians, anybody who, just naturally care for kids, who are a natural nurturer. This message is for y'all. We are in a day and age where it's time to let the mask fall away and be honest with ourselves. If you have any children and you leaving them with family members and friends, because you love them and you trust them, you think you put them in the right hands. I'm here to tell you, pay attention to the signs of your kids when you get ready to drop them off at the babysitter, or drop them off at grandmama's house, or drop them off at mama's house or granddaddy's house, or whoever house you're dropping them off on before you go to the club or work, or just out in general. Whoever you dropping them off with, pay attention to your children's body languages. Pay attention to how they react when you say you going over such and such house. Because if your kids is crying and hooping and hollering and acting a fool, you might need to second guess who you sending them with. And the reason why I say that is because just because you're sitting there with family or friends or loved ones or whatever, don't always mean that they have your child's best interest at heart. Because I've been that child, and no offense to nobody, this video is not to, shame anybody or anything, but the truth has to be spoken. But the thing is this, I've been that child where I've been sent places I didn't want to go, and I would cry and say I didn't want to go, and my mom would be like, girl, you going anyway. It's not that she didn't care, it was the fact that she just, didn't think nothing that serious of it. But when I was crying, it was because I was being mistreated or left out or, molested or almost, all kind of negative things that were ungodly. Let's just say that. And at the end of the day, I don't regret anything that happened because it all made me who I am today. But as a child, I wished I had a person that I could confide in, somebody I could trust, somebody that could help me out of the situation. And I felt like I had no outlet. So if you're wondering why your children are having suicidal thoughts, or they learned about sex early, or they are bullies or something, it's a reason, because that energy was it came from somewhere, so you need to start digging and asking questions, right, as a parent. So that's why I'm making this video, because a lot of times we be leaving our kids with family members, and the front of you, the family member gonna take good care of your child, but then soon as you leave, oh baby, your child is a pure slave, or your child is like the most mistreated or left out in the house, and you will be surprised at things that people will do behind closed doors, but in front of your face make things look so good, right? So that's why I'm telling y'all, like, it's so many kids out here. Folks be calling about, she too grown, she too this, she too that, or he da 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 da. But did you ever stop and think to ask? No, because you didn't. Cut my throat trying to clog up. Did you ever stop to think to ask yourself, where did that child get that behavior from? It's a learned behavior. You see what I'm saying? So if your children are acting out when a certain person come around, or they act crazy, or you trying to make them love, because you shouldn't have to make your children love people. You shouldn't have to make your children speak to people. You shouldn't have to make them, force them, because love is what love does. So if I got to force you to love me, I don't want it, right? So I see that happening a lot of times, and even I was conditioned to force. Sometimes, people would mistreat me and then turn around and, say, oh, I love you, and the whole time I know you don't, and then you like, well, you gonna say it back, and I'm like, of course I don't want to say it back, because I know it's not real, because love is what love does. If you love me, you wouldn't down me. You wouldn't disrespect me. You wouldn't want to take my innocence. You wouldn't want to make me feel less than. You would do, if you really love me, you would do everything in your power to make sure I see my better self, my higher self, not strip me of it. See, we have to realize what we think we leaving our kids with the right people, and we not. And the whole time the kid's psyche is being destroyed. And so I've been that child where my psyche was being destroyed. And I grew up angry. I grew up feeling like I didn't exist. I grew up feeling like nobody heard me. Nobody saw me. Nobody cared. I grew up feeling like I wasn't no good. I felt like I wasn't enough. I had so many insecurities. It was ridiculous. I had so many fears. It was ridiculous. I'm still overcoming my fears. But little did I know that holding on to what had happened to me in the past as a child was what was hindering me in my today age now. So that's why we're having this message now, that if you don't want your children to grow up mentally screwed, be mindful of where you send them and who you force them to be around, who you put in the bed with them, who you allow to hug them and touch on them, who you allow to walk up and slip them money. Who you allow, because see, a lot of times those parents act like we don't see, but we see. And I'm telling you now, it's time for you to take the glasses off, baby, and see. Because we are ruining our children, and the children is the new age, whether we want to believe it or not. That's where eternal life come in at. Check it out. The Ankh. The Ankh represents the man, the woman, and the children. Okay? So ain't nobody on this earth living eternally. Not no human, but they live on through your seed. Your seeds bring seeds, and their seeds bring seeds, and that's where eternal life come in for those who is unaware what eternal life represents. Okay? Y'all, I don't want to live. I don't want my seed and my seeds to live in no jacked up generation because we didn't do our work. It's time to heal yourself from that rape, that molestation. Go back to those places where you were abused verbally, physically, mentally, spiritually. I don't care if you was 2. I don't care if you was 10. I don't care if you was 100. If you were hurt there, you still there. Go release yourself from that place and never turn to it again. And to the abusers, bless y'all. That message was heavy for me. And I know it's going to be heavy for y'all. But I'm going to post a video to show y'all what behavior is not acceptable when it comes to speaking to our youth. Because the youth is what's going to have to take care of us. So I don't want to be dogging what's going to have to take care of me. Because that's how a lot of us end up in houses and deathbeds alone. That's how a lot of us end up in nursing homes. Or a lot of us end up just basically dying horrible deaths alone. Because you did not treat the innocent right. Let's get it together, y'all. I love y'all. Peace and love. A quick message to piggyback off of my first message. about the abusers, whether they be physical, verbal, spiritually, emotionally, either way, abuse is abuse, right? I didn't make my video for nobody to be like, oh yeah, let me hate this person, da 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 da. No, you need to forgive that person because they know not of what they do, right? Because if they did, they wouldn't have done it. And the reason why I say that is because when you grow spiritually and you start doing the work properly, you start having a soft spot for your abuser, and you also begin to appreciate your abuser. And that's why forgiveness is necessary, because had my abusers not abused me, I wouldn't be 7. You see what I'm saying? So I thank my abusers. At one point, I spent half of my life, majority of my life, hating those abusers. But why? Because had I not been hurt or went through that pain, I wouldn't be the person I am now. So that's why forgiveness is necessary. Forgiveness is not for the abuser, it's for you, right? And you also teach them compassion, because like I said, it's a learned behavior. If they are abusing, they may have been abused themselves, and the people who abuse them may have been, and so on and so on and so on and so on. That's why I keep saying, let's break these chains, right? So we're not here to point the finger and make a person look bad. It just hey, you know what? Bless that person, because they know not of what they do. If this person is disrespectful, this person is a molester, a raper, this person is an abuser, this person is a narcissist or whatever, bless them, because it's a learned behavior from somewhere. Okay? So that's why we're not here to say, oh yeah, let's hate this person, because what you do to your neighbors, what you do to yourself. So, and I know he who angers me control me. So I've given people enough control over me, and people used to make me feel bad for being, our Mother Earth. They used to try to say, oh, she our women rights, she for, the people. And guess what? No offense, but you're damn right. Because that's what we're supposed to be here for. We are one, right? Love is the key, right? Somebody need to listen to a little Amazing Frankie Beverly, honey, because you know not. All right? So I know that when I lift you, I lift me. I know when I lift me, I lift you, vice versa. Whatever. When you get through with it, we are the universe. So I'm not here to bash nobody. I'm here to break chains off everybody. All right? So y'all share this message, because I know I'm not the only one. Peace and love.